Hello everybody and welcome, and it's the start of a new season. Welcome to 2019's racing in Project Cars 2, and we have a new little league together. Now it would appear there's actually 14 on the grid there, and I know that a couple disconnected on the start, so I'm not quite sure what's going on with that grid. A couple of those positions at the back that I thought Rags at least discoed to the pits. We'll see. Yeah, it does look like Rags ain't running. Yeah, Rags and Grandest D discoed right at the start. That's a pity. So that has us down to 12. And there I am, second from last. Come on, camera. That's Muttley up my inside in the Beamer. At this point in the race, I was being pretty fucking careful. Right, so that's first incident, is I need to go and have a little look at that. I decided I was going to review the accidents in this as well, so let's have a little look. This looks like a good place to watch the accident from. Now, yeah, it was Xander that lost it, but he wasn't doing. It was pure accident. He was clean up the inside, and then his car caught the curb, and he went. Now, I won't be issuing penalties for racing incidents. Your humiliation is your punishment. I'm sure it's embarrassing to have all your dirty laundry aired on the internet like this. So, yeah, it's a pity I can't watch it from... maybe I can watch it from here. I hate these controls. No, Chris did get out ahead of Xander after the accident. So, yes, they both lost a bunch of positions. Right then. Let's have a little look at the front. So we got Farrell, Scoobs and Trumper up front, chased by Golf, and I'm not sure who else. I'm glad P Golf made it in. He had a few network issues late on. He was in and out during qualifying, or certainly at the end of practice, so glad you made it, P Golf. So it goes Audi, Nissan, Beamer. Well done. That's a good position to be in the Beamer. It's going to be quite a long race this, so I'm not sure if I shall be spectating its entirety. Oh, Golf's having to pit already. That's bad. Maybe he's up ahead because no, he didn't. Nobody got a penalty for a drive-through, for jumping the start. Sorry. So I'm not sure what went on there. He must have just been damaged. Oh. These boys up front are having a close battle. Let's see what else is going on down here. I'm just looking for these guys. Muttley and Junior having a bit of a battle. There's a bit of a gap behind. That's me, one back from Junior. I'm in the M3, which is next back. 7th position, chased by other Chris in the Mercedes. For those watching who don't know precisely what the rules of this little season are, this season is going to run for 6 weeks, and during the first 5 races, all the drivers must choose a different car each week. There are 5 cars in this class, so you must drive one of each car over the course of the first 5 races. Then in the finale, people can pick whichever the race they like. The first 5 tracks are all GP type tracks, and then the finale is around the Nordschleife. So I suspect we'll be seeing a lot of the 4-wheel drive cars at the Nordschleife. Might see a few people taking a Sierra, but I think the Sierra is too the Nordschleife is too complicated for the Sierra for most people. I think most people will be happy to go with either an Audi or a Nissan. But having said that, I could be completely wrong, because a lot of people are using Audis and Nissans this evening and might only have the Beamer left by the end of the... no, I'm an idiot. At the end of the season they can use anything they like. So we'll see. That's Junior making a move on Muttley. Hasn't quite made it stick yet, but I suspect he will. I should know, because I was behind this battle. Ooh. And Greek Chris has overtaken me somewhere. Oh, what happened there? Let's who was that? Let's have a little look. Is that who it is? Chase. No, it's not. I'm looking for... Oh, it is. Junior's the car in front. So let's have a little look here. No, he's lost it all on his own, and then the white car's gone wide to avoid him. There was no contact there. So I think it's actually been started by the Sierra locking up, and then everybody else has had an adverse reaction to it afterwards. So if we look, first the Sierra locks up, puff of smoke. But also the Mercedes is over-braked. Well, not over-braked, but braked harder than this Mercedes was expecting. So again, racing incident. That was a position for me. I feel bad for Chris because he's quick. And he's doing the honourable thing. See, you wait to rejoin. You don't just pull out on track in front of people. Well done, well done. It's exactly what we want to see. Right, let's have a little look up and down the grid. So, Farrell and Scoobs up front here, still having a good old battle. How far back's Trumper? Trumper's a bit of a gap back, and then Jim's chasing on Trumper's tail. There's me a long way off Jim and Trumper. Sitting in 5th, which I thought at this point, quite a good position for the car I'm in. But, spoiler alert, I don't finish the race in 5th. and I certainly don't finish higher than that. Here's a certain Mr. McRae creeping up behind me. Right, what else have we got? Xander has recovered from his early mistake. He's up into 7th, which isn't bad considering he was facing the wrong way at, well, just round this corner on lap 1. Just here is where he had his moment. He's ahead of Greek Chris now, but Greek Chris and Muttley had their own mistakes. Quite closely packed around this part of the track, really. Just going to go up a few positions. You go, see, 3 cars in sight, 3 cars in sight, 3, maybe even 4 cars just about in sight. A few gaps back here. Oh. Oh dear. Oh, somebody's gone to space. It's Elon Musk's car, look. This is ground control to Major Tom. I shouldn't do that, should I? So, you're coming to the end of the 4th lap, I believe. Again, nothing wrong there. He did cut the chicane, but he lost a position doing so. So that's exactly what I want to see from people. If he'd cut the chicane and then pulled away, that would have been a bit of a problem, but he cut the chicane and then he dropped back, so no questions to be asked whatsoever. We shall watch the mid-pack battle for a little while. Xander's going for another move by the looks of it. I think he's got him in a straight line. Not quite. A little look at the front guys again. Still 4 cars on the straight at the same time, so it's still it's on the same end of the straight as well, pretty much same half. That's 1-2 round the first corner, and that's 3-4 round the first corner. Go on, Jim. Is Jim going to put a pass on here? Whoa, cut back, go on, cut back, cut back. Oh, you could have got a little bit more. There we go. It's going to be on the outside of the next bend now, though. It's a faster line if you've got a clear road, but if there's another car on track, you want the inner line. There's not a lot of weight difference between these two cars, but somehow the Audi looks heavier travelling round. The Nissan looks lighter and more nimble. But there's actually very little difference. They're both up in the 1700 kilogram region. 2300 pounds, something like that. My numbers are probably totally wrong there. 2300 pounds is probably more like 1400 kilograms or even 1200 kilograms, but they're both heavy and there's not a lot between them, is my point. Similar weight, similar power. I think it's possible the Audi might have 10 more horsepower and 15 more kilograms or something. Jim should... see, even in a drag race, they're pretty closely matched. You see where my dog's gone. Stink, what are you doing out there? Come back. Well, it's an entertaining battle to watch, chaps, but we need to see what's going on up and down the grid. Still close between these two. How am I doing? I'm on my own, bit of a gap back to the next couple of boys. I think at this point in the race I was beginning to convince myself that I was having tyre troubles, but it just wasn't the case because I was putting in some of my best laps towards the end of the race, so my tyres were still more than good enough. I had a shitty bunch of laps in the middle of the race, but it was all psychological. There was nothing really wrong with my car. It's possible my brakes had overheated a little and I hadn't noticed. But the car seemed to be sliding around and I was convinced it was the tyres. And it wasn't, it was just my driving. Because like I say, I managed to put in another couple of blistering laps by my BMW standards towards the end of the race. I had a couple of greens by a second or so. Right then. Enough staring at myself. How's Xander and McRae doing? Again, quite a tight bunch here. That's Xander, McRae, Greek Chris, followed by Muttley. I'm not sure who's behind Muttley. Let's go and find out. Junior and Golf. That's a pity, Golf. Golf's a quick driver and I'm pretty sure he qualified okay. Maybe. I'm not sure what happened with Golf actually because he was having issues. Maybe I don't think he lost his qualifying position through network error. I think he got back in time to qualify properly. Though he is second to last on track. back to the top. What lap are we on? We're on lap 8. We're coming up to about halfway. Wow, another few minutes to halfway. Got a good gap now, Scoobs. A good 3 or 4 seconds to the man behind. Oh, only 2.5, 2 and a bit. Looks more. And then bigger gap back to Jim. And then here's the pack. Oh, the front of the main pack anyway. I think that's Greek Chris up my backside now. I think. Yeah, it is. Yeah, 7 of the cars in a reasonable bunch there. Just managed to keep it in the lines. Lost speed doing so. Pressure's on now from Chris. You see me giving it probably a little bit more than I'd like to, going sideways in some of these corners. Compromising my line a little bit so he can't pass. Might stick with this battle for a little while. Partly because it's me, but partly because it looks like it's quite an exciting battle. Like this battle's going to go on a fair bit longer. Might have to go and look at some other guys and come back to it. Because there's also a bit of a battle going on here. Yep, that's Muttley through in the Sierra. Oh, and he's off. That's Xander's took it back, and so's Golf. Oh, I've got some battle damage there. You've got some battle scars. One on Golf down the straight. Yeah, he's past Golf. Is he going to get back up to Xander? Nah, not by this corner. And he's understeering. He locked up the front end there. your front tyres are shot. Well to roll. There we go. While I was watching that, Chris got past me. I was leading Chris before, and now I'm chasing him. What happened was I went wide in turn 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, turn 6. I went wide and Chris took the apex and went ahead of me. I went wide by mistake just because I missed my braking and my turning and went really deep into the corner. Jim's got a nice bit of clear track to himself here, and it's a safe third position as well by the looks of it. And Trump is not that far behind, only a couple of seconds behind. Still on Chris's tail. Yep. Bit of defending there from Greek Chris, otherwise I would have got alongside him and out. He would have probably out-dragged me down this hill just the same, but I might have got position on him into this corner. That's pretty much how Chris got me, but different bend. Scoobs has pulled out a nice gap now. Mega lead. Wow. 4 or 5 seconds. 5.5 seconds. Bon voyage, Jim. That's quite a big gap. Back to Chris. I've fallen off his tail here and I'm having another wobble. Let's see what I'm doing here. Ooh! We need to look at that. What the fuck happened there? Okay. Okay, tank slapper. He's not in control. And he certainly did hit his brakes as he came back across track. See these little stickers on the back here, these blue and reds, they look like L plates from a distance. Whenever you're following a car with them, I always think, he's got L plates. But, yeah, again, racing incident. It's a bit gutting for Golf because he's had a bad race. He's been at the back a long way. He managed to crawl up to almost middle grid, and then that happens. But it was just a tank slapper from the Sierra. He bounced off that curb, but it was the rear end going. Ah, shit. Oh well, I'm not starting again. You're just going to have to fast forward a minute. What I might do is upload it as 2 parts.